Perfect. And so my name's Heather Holliday. I'm your social marketing nut, and a little bit about me, since I don't think I even introduced really the last week when I was in there. So I've been within REMAX since 2006. I was with a main office over in Melbourne, Florida since 2009. And I moved to East Tennessee about 4.5 years ago. I work remotely. It kind of allowed me to be able to work with more offices. If anybody is on Facebook and you've heard of the REMAX Creative Group, MAXTech and Tools Group, I'm one of your admins. Especially during COVID, we were doing weekly live trainings with associates around the world, just trying to bring content to you guys and help during that time. So if my name sounds familiar and you're in one of those groups, that's probably where you've seen my name before. I've also been a speaker at the international conventions, R4, many times. And I help REMAX. They know I'm just kind of part of their extension team. I do not work with REMAX. I'm independent. I just kind of have like a little marketing company, but I only really help REMAX agents. It's what I do. I eat, breathe, and sleep all things REMAX, but I am your go-to. I'm a resource for you, for your office. If you ever go to your hub, which is in all of your newsletters, we have a ton of resources and goodies for you. There's a Zoom link if you ever want to know anything about whether it's, KB Core, getting more in depth other than, kind of the basics, any REMAX tools, the REMAX Hustle, anything like that. I'm your go-to. Zoom with me. It's one-on-one. We can really dive deep, whether you watch me take controls and do something, or I can guide you through whatever it may be. We can get through a lot in 30 minutes. Because I know all of these different tools, and my head is a scary place to be, but it is yours for the taking. All you have to do is just Zoom with me. You can always email me, text me. If you call me, I'm pretty much on Zoom all day, and I'm horrible with the phone. It's why I could never do what you guys do, because I hate the phone, but I love text, Facebook message, Instagram, anything like that. So any tools, whether it be marketing, KB Core, website content, chat, GPT, whatever it may be, I probably have your answer, or I know how to find it. So with that being said, my little intro spiel, I am going to share my screen. Today is not the basics. That's on our last Zoom. Again, I am recording all of these, so they are available inside your hub. You're going to see a little MAXTech tile in the navigation that has a ton of resources, a ton of videos that I do personally, KV Core videos, and all of our Zoom recordings. So let me go ahead and share my screen and move everyone over, move my heads over. Today is going to be all about our smart numbers and text codes and our smart campaign, how to organize yourself as people are, you're adding people in, people may have already been imported in there, and what can you be doing to help bring the system to life, organize yourself, all of that good stuff. The smart numbers is by far the most confusing aspect, I think, of the entire system. And I think we overcomplicate things just a little bit. To find out what your smart number is, when you click over to your profile, you're going to see a smart number or a phone number that is not your phone number. That is your office smart number. Now, all of the offices have their own smart number, but every agent within that office shares this number. I'm going to show you where you could buy your own and some of the cool tools that you can do with it, whether you're buying it yourself or just doing it on your own. Just know this number is not public facing. It is basically just a number that is helping work these leads on your behalf due to different regulations, and as well as our own service providers. They do not allow a third-party system to work the way these systems work on our behalf. So a new lead comes into your dashboard, the system is going to be probing, asking questions, texting, emailing, all of this on your behalf. You don't need to say, it's not my number, people don't understand. Most of the people that are getting contacted, or if you contact via this number, don't overcomplicate it by saying it's not my number. This is just a work number. If they're in your system and they're already getting worked and they reply to that, it's a smart number. It knows, okay, this cell phone number is attached to this agent. And that's so it knows where to direct and guide that response. And if the only time somebody is going to call this number is basically if you go to your dashboard and wonder what's going to happen and you call that number, because we don't have it on the websites. You're not going to be advertising this number unless you purchased your own. You're not advertising this anywhere. So the only time someone's really going to be calling or texting that's not already in this system is if an agent gets curious and like, well, what happens if I call or text that number? And then they're going to be, well, I got some agent in the office, and now every time I call it, I'm getting this one agent, and why are they getting all the leads? That's not how it works. So what happens when somebody calls or texts this number that is not in the system, it's going to go on rotation through all the agents in that specific office. Once that happens, a lead is created. So now every time you call that number, you are attached to whatever agent got that lead on rotation. So don't call or text that number. You're going to create yourself as a lead. That agent will need to delete you as a lead because you probably don't want to be attached to some other agent in your office. So that's really the only way that you're going to get a call from this number or a text is really if an agent, because they're the only ones that really have access to that, is actually calling those leads. I'm going to show you some really cool things that you can do. And if you decide like, yes, I'm all in, I love all this stuff, I would probably say it's going to be worth you paying the $27 a month to purchase your own smart number. That way there's, it's not going to be any accidental lead rotations going to another agent, just all that fun stuff. So let me go over and then we're going to create some. So first I'm going to show you some of the cool things, and then I'm going to show you how you can be creating these for yourself. And that is basically the text codes. This is really how these smart numbers, other than work in your database, this is where the magic happens and the stuff that we can do with that smart number. So I can go in and create my own text codes using that smart number. So that's how a lead is going to be directed. Only one agent can create, by me. This is an example of a by me. So I can create a custom sign writer that will go on my new listing at 123 Main Street. When someone texts by me, I have it say, when someone texts by me, it's going to go to 123 Main Street, and they're automatically going to get a text that has all the pictures, description, and your information. And it just created a lead. It's going to be tagged with that specific property. Now, say that listing goes under contract. I'm going to be able, if I have a sign writer and it's not on my actual sign, so you could do it either way, I could actually say, okay, well, 123 Main Street just went under contract, but I just got the neighbor's house down the street, 865 Main Street. So now I'm going to go in my dashboard and assign by me to 865 Main Street, put this sign writer over to my new listing. Where is this important? It actually is pretty cool, because instead of all the looky-loos taking all of your flyers, they're going to be texting the by me to get all the information straight on the phone. That's giving you an actual cell phone number because they have to do it from their cell phone. So now people, one, aren't taking all of your flyers. You're not killing all the trees. And the number one complaint about online lead gen is not getting a correct cell phone number. No more 555-1212. Because in order for them to get the information, they actually have to put their cell phone number. It's going to be labeled 123 Main Street. And I'll show you where we're going to do that. So now you get 865 Main Street. You can actually, when you're in your listing playbook, which we went over last week, you'll be able to say, okay, I'm promoting my new listing. I'm sending it to the agents. I'm doing all this other stuff. But you can also choose to send to a custom code. So now I'm going to send it to everyone who did the text code for 123 Main Street. And it may be a text or email that says, hey, you might have missed out on 123 Main Street, but I just got a brand new listing. I'm doing an open house at 865 Main Street. So make sure to, come and visit me, or here's the information. So this is going to allow you to grab and organize all of your contacts by using these different text codes, especially if you farm certain subdivisions and you're always doing open houses or areas. These are a great way because all of these people that come in are going to be labeled with certain hashtags. And it's going to allow you to easily send out mass text or emails to everybody that matches all of those. So these are just two examples. By having a custom sign writer, you can have text info to your smart number for pictures or for this and that. We could do all sorts of stuff. If you're doing, say, as we always do banners outside of the schools. And I know when my kids were in football and cheer and baseball, the schools always hit me up, and, being a team mom, I always like, okay, I have to advertise. These are great. You can add a QR code, a text. Now it's easy. All these parents are at all these games, and now straight from the game, they're able to text and get information, maybe for home value, maybe for selling or buying, or in a certain area where that school's located. And I'm going to show you how we can set those text codes up. So lots of really cool ideas on that. Not only that, is your social media post, your postcards, anything that you have going out, you're able to use that same text code that you have on the sign writer to put in the description or on the graphics you're putting out on social media, or the flyers that are out in front of the residents. So you can have a flyer, and you're going to say, text by me to this for properties and photo information. So you can have it on your print, your snail, or even in the description. So this is where all of these text codes can really come into play to build up that database that you want to use by using these custom codes. That's pretty cool, right? Also, if you use postcards for subdivisions, you're using Everdoor Direct or anything like that, we use this and combined with the squeeze pages, which I think that's next week. So you can even create, these huge flyers that are going out. Maybe you do something once a quarter or once a month to your actual huge subdivisions that you farm. So here we have text home value, which is going to take them to the seller's page to try to get addresses of people that are wanting to know what their home is worth. And it's just, the value, online lead gen. But now you have the address. Now you can immediately reach out to those people, go knock on their doors, whatever you want to do. But also what I did as far as squeeze pages go, we can combine squeeze pages and these text codes and create a QR code for all of your snail mail postcards, whether it be postcards, newsletters, whatever you want to do. You can put it in your monthly newsletters, all of that. So it's pretty cool. Make sure if you are using, this is where that power of those text cards are. Now, if you are planning on doing this for all of your listings, all the other different ideas we have, I would recommend buying your own. Don't overthink it. No, it's not your cell phone. It is like an office number. Just think back, gosh, when I started real estate, we did not have cell phones. We did not even have pagers or beepers. So everybody was using a landline. And then I remember we got pagers, and I would have to page the agent. And then we finally had cell phones, but we weren't allowed to give away the number because there was no unlimited plans, and you had to pay for usage and all that fun stuff. Not even the internet back then. But you can just think of it as like an alternate office number. And just like last week, I want you to go into that profile, find out what your smart number is. Even if you buy a new one, you're going to add 2 of these numbers. I want you to put KV Core Assistant, color Cora, color whatever you want, and put a bunch of $ next to that name, because if somebody is texting or calling from that number, they're coming from your actual system. That's the only way anybody's going to see that smart number. These are just some other ideas that you could do, text for the property, text for different searches, different updates, your home value. Maybe you have sign up for my newsletter. So now you're getting all these people with hashtags, or you can also build a landing page. They all get the same hashtags. Now you're able to build that database for people to sign up for your newsletter. Some agents even have giveaways every month. Now there's all these awesome apps that allow you to bring in, you can do a search inside your CRM, and we'll cover how to do these searches for everyone that maybe text giveaway for this month. You're going to plug them into that app. You're going to go live on social media and do a spin the wheel via the app. So it's all fair and you're live. So now everybody who texts the giveaway for that month gets a $50 Home Depot gift card, whatever it may be. The whole point is you're able to use these tools to build your database and bring people in because that's going to help you reach out to them, whether you're doing monthly newsletters, the holidays, squeeze pages, whatever it may be. There's a lot of ways that we can bring people in, and text codes are by far one of my favorites. Of course, landing pages I love too, but it's really awesome. If you do plan, I know I had done a class recently, and when we went over this, people were like, I just grabbed 200, but they don't have their own. And I'm like, if you're going to do 200, I would definitely spend the $27 a month. That's like 2 cups of coffee at Starbucks to get your own number. If it is your own number, you could actually have that on your signatures, your signs, whatever you may be, because you know it's only going to you. And for sure, if you have a team and you do a lot of lead gen or want to use these, buy it on the team leader level. That way it's, you know, it's just your agents will also have that.
Heather, I got a quick question.
Yeah,
So you're running this maybe on a few things, right? If you assign that like text by me to a specific property and then use the office smart number because it's assigned to that property, does that mean the lead funnels into you?
yes, and nobody else can have by me. So if you went and got the by me, and then I went in and I was like, oh, that was a good idea, I want to go in there and do by me, it'll say, sorry, that's taken. I will suggest if you're going to do by me, do it all together and with a space in between, just there's, nobody else can really grab that. But no, if you're only going to try this a couple times, I wouldn't worry too much about buying your own. But if you're going to do the giveaway, the newsletters, buy me, info, your name, this and that, and you really want to start using this and having the custom sign writers, I personally would recommend getting your own, because then it can be on your email signatures as well. And then people associate that number to you and you don't have to worry about anybody else. But it is nice if you're doing lead gen and you do have your own, that can be what goes on all of your stuff, and you can kind of keep your number personal. I know a couple agents that moved to an area, so they didn't have a local number, and they love it because that's what they're able to put on all their promotions.
Okay. Anybody that's not muted, you guys mute, please.
Unless you have a question, feel free to ask away, and we're going to go build some smart numbers.
I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I found my number here and I searched it. I should put that number in my phone?
Yes, absolutely. I want you to put it as a contact in your phone.
Okay,
So when you're up on your profile and you see your smart number,
right.
put that phone number in your phone as a contact and put a bunch of dollar signs, color whatever you want. Because if somebody is texting or calling from that number, it's because they're in your KV Core system. Because this number is not advertised anywhere.
Okay, but the whole office has the same number, correct?
Yes, your location, all the agents have that, but that number's not advertised anywhere. So the only way someone would be calling or texting is because they're receiving, all of the texts that are happening within the system, working your leads on your behalf. So that's the only reason why someone would call or text, because that number is not public and shown. So it's just really the system working your leads on your behalf. So if someone's getting these texts and they decide to call, it's going to route that call directly to you because the number they're calling from is dialed to you.
Okay, so say I was to get one of those calls, somebody else in my office didn't get that call yet, correct?
No, because the usually the only way when you get a call and it's not somebody in the system, it's because an agent is trying to see what that number is.
Okay.
So it may be an agent in the office and now you have to go delete them because they just were on round robin to all the agents in your office if somebody were to call that number.
Okay.
And usually that only would happen from agents because they don't know what this number is and they didn't come to trainings.
Okay.
So you'll be like, hey, Sue, yeah, you should have gone to training that you were told like not to call that number. Now I have to go delete you as a lead. Don't call it.
Okay.
But other than that, the only way this number is visible is actually to your leads, and it's going to be connected to you and them. Now, if you have imported leads and you have cell phones for multiple people, so it's like, okay, well, this phone number is attached to 2 agents in this office. and there's one person that maybe imported the lead, but there's another agent that's actually working with the lead. So correspondence is going out. That's the agent that's going to get the email, not the one that imported and hasn't done any correspondence at all with the number. So every once in a while, if, multiple people, have, large databases or whatnot, it's going to be the agent that's actively working with them, or the person that's last had communications with them in the last 90 days. So that's where it can be a little tricky, is if, agents have the same database, or, maybe worked with someone or closed with somebody, but they're actively working with another agent. So that's basically, it's going to go to the agent that's has the most correspondence actively going on with a lead with that phone number. So when you come over to your lead engine, this is where you have all sorts of cool tools. We're only going to go over the call and text capture today. Landing pages, squeeze pages, my favorite. And we have lots of goodies for you, but I think that might be next week. So to get started with the call and text capture, we're going to go right here to get started. And you'll see, like, every agent is going to have their own text code already assigned to them. And it shows you what your office smart number is. I can get my own. You just click there, and it's going to allow you to pick a number. You just put in your area code, and then it'll give you a bunch of different numbers to choose from. But this is where I can create my own. So you can see here, we have a couple already on here. And if I were to go and add new, this is where I get to say, okay, what do I want people to text, and what information are they going to receive? So I may just say, let's see, info 2, because I think I already have like info. So I want them to have info 2. They're going to text that. And are they going to be getting information for a property, or am I going to automatically send them a message? So if I say MLS ID, I just have to come over here, and it does not have to be my listing. I'm just trying to see, let's see. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and type in an address. There we go. No idea where that's at. And then, so, okay, I signed my MLS ID. You could have that if you're doing an open house for an agent in your office. Maybe have, a little sign that says text info for this property to go. So now you're able to collect, people's information for the open house. I would certainly use the open house app. That to me is by far better than just this, but just saying in case you didn't. Now I want to assign. So if this is Baltimore, I'm going to use, 123 Baltimore. So that way I know anybody who types in right now, info 2 is going to have the hashtag 123 Baltimore. And then I choose the smart number. If you purchase your own, or you have a team and they have their own, you'll see multiple numbers here. So you'll just want to choose the one that you want this to be under. So now I can create anything that says, and text info 2 to this number to receive pictures and property information for 123 Baltimore. And I'm going to go ahead and add it. So I just did that. And now maybe I want to do, so let's go over here to edit. What if I want to send a message? Maybe sign up for my newsletter. So I'm going to say, text newsletter to this number to sign up for my monthly newsletter for all sorts of goodies and value. So I'm going to put newsletter, and then I'm going to have a short text. I believe you want to keep it under like 140 characters, but thank you for signing up for my monthly newsletter. I promise not to spam or sell your address, whatever it may be. If you have any questions on real estate, I'm here to help you. Boom, you're done. Or you could have here's like, thank you for interest in any Atlantic Florida properties. Here's a live link for all the properties. If you have any questions, I'm here to help. What we did is we have a squeeze page going to any Atlantic homes for sale. It's a live MLS feed. And then we took the URL we got and we went into REMAX URL shortener to make it look pretty. Now I have tracking on the REMAX URL shortener side, but I also am going to have a hashtag for anybody who puts that into their code. They're going to be labeled. Now, why is this good? Well, anytime you get a new listing in this city, when I go through my listing playbook, I'm going to include them to receive that new listing. I can go over I want to put anyone who's done my Any Atlantic new to get that email or text. I know that's like a lot, right? But it's pretty cool stuff. So you can think of, I mean, the sky's the limit in what you're looking to do. And just like here, we had info 2 goes to Baltimore. Well, now that listing just went under contract, but I want to move a sign writer. So you can go to your custom sign people and have a sign made. So now I can come over here. Well, 123 Baltimore just got sold. So now I want to move this over to my new listing, and let me type in an address. So maybe now I just got this new listing. I'm going to put it over here, and I'm going to add a new hashtag, Melbourne, of whatever the address is. So now it's going to have a new hashtag. It's associated with a new property. So you can reuse these over and over and over again. You get to modify right inside of here. You can even modify the text for cities or anything like that. Change and edit the text that go out. And then you're just going to save it. And now I know I'm going to move that sign writer to my new listing. Now it's associated and I don't have to change, you know, I had a custom sign writer done. I just move it to each property. You could do the same thing with your anything that you have going on. It's really awesome. So I see a hand. I see a hand. I saw it way back there.
I have a question. I noticed on your bid, all of the different ones that you MLS send to, there is no message to send. So if we send an MLS number, we cannot send a message along with it.
What it's going to automatically send, here's the property information you were interested in, and it'll actually pull in all the photos, the description, and your information. It's awesome. So it's not like a personal message. It
Okay.
will actually show you, it's going to give them all the photos and information. If you wanted to do it where maybe you're using your, you know, the links that you get in the playbooks, so you could do that as well. So I could do a custom message, you know, info 2 is going to, I'm going to do a personal message, you know, and I'll just put in thanks for your, for your interest in 123 Main Street. Click here to view all the information. And then it's going to go to that squeeze page for that actual property that you would get right here inside of your listing playbook. And we briefly went over that yesterday. So when you come over here and you go to the social media, the digital promotion, so you may want to just go ahead and copy that link, but I would shorten it somehow because it's really long. And you could use that for when you're doing your text codes and capture. So you could do it either way. I do like how it comes across when you're putting an MLS number, just because it does basically send them a link to everything and they can see all the photos and it looks really great. But you could do it via message, and then, you know, I would use the short link on that, but for sure, you could do it either way.
Awesome. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does.
All right, we have a second question over here too.
Yeah.
Is it the custom code that determines if the agent in the office gets it? Because obviously with 150 agents, not everyone can use Buy Me then. So we
Correct. So if anybody in her office tried to put home value or home value with a space, it's going to, so if I come over here and I want to add new and I want to type in home value, and I want it to be a message and I tried to add it, it's going, oh, let me try the smart number.
Yeah, but space, so why not? Oh, she's got both. Okay.
See how it says whoops, duplicate way down here? This text code already exists. So no one in her office can have any, because this is already attached to her. She's grabbed it. Whether she's using it or not, she has it. Nobody else in her office can take this. Now an agent in a different office could do it because they will have a different smart number. So yes, that's where like, we're not promoting this cell phone anywhere, but the only way you're really going to be grabbing leads is if you're using the text code, like to get organic leads not already in the system. But yeah, so nobody else can grab that. But that is also why if you're going to do Buy Me, I would also do Buy Me with a space, and it's not case sensitive. So that part doesn't matter. Does that answer that question?
Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Perfect. And if you wanted to order yours, you would just go over here into the marketplace and it's $27 a month. If I would recommend doing that, just so it is your own and you can put it anywhere, everything is going to funnel straight to you, regardless, because nobody else has access to that number. So if you were going to use it heavily, I would for sure buy my own. To me, it'd be worth the $27 a month if I really want to do that, but definitely play with it, and see how that works. And see if it's something that you would actually add into your business.
I have a question. Say you
Yes.
want to do the, you pay for it per month, and say you want to do it with somebody else. You might be on a team. So how does it, so
If it's on a team, that I would have the team leader buy it,
okay,
because then it'll funnel to all the agents. So if you bought it, but you're not the team leader, you wouldn't be able to then, oh no, I want it to be on a team level. So the team leader would have to go into their dashboard to order it on the team level.
so there's no way really to do it with somebody else then?
No, unless all the leads that come in, you could share or transfer, you could share the leads that come in,
Okay,
but everything is still going to be going to the primary agent.
okay,
So you could come over here and you could just go down in a share or transfer. So I could share a lead with anybody, but it's still going to be the primary agent. The sharing is more for, if you go out of town and you're working with someone and you have an agent covering you, you would probably want to share the ones that they may be working with while you're gone that are, you're actively showing property to write a contract. You may want to share it with them while you're gone. So to me, it's like nothing joined in that way. So it is more individual basis versus being able to share with another agent that cost or whatnot. But I'm sure, it's one of those things that at 3 o'clock in the morning, I wake up and find a workaround. So, there's always ways to try to be smarter than the computers in a way. And I'm pretty sure you could, because you have a way to do lead routing on a personal level. So you could, yes, so you could. So what you could do is you could actually put in a hashtag and say, okay, so I want to add an agent, send to another agent. It's not letting me do that. There's a way to do that because I can actually assign leads to different agents, transfer, and I can pick any agent in my office, or I guess the company, because this agent is not with that in her office. So you could share it and say any leads with this hashtag, send them to this agent, just transfer it. So if you were to share a smart number, and when you set those up and you have a hashtag for that text code, you could go into your lead routing and say any of the leads with this hashtag, because you set up a hashtag every time you set up a text code. I want you to transfer it to another agent. So see that? There's a workaround. I never even thought about that. But so there you go. Any other questions? And we'll go into your smart CRM. So definitely play with that. And now this is our smart CRM. And let me go over, I know we briefly kind of went over the journey last week, but I do want it. So, we'll kind of cover that and setting up some searches to help you organize your database and not overwhelm yourself with thinking you have to spend, 2 weeks getting all this information. We really want it to be time management and maybe spend 10, 15 minutes a day or a week on your database. And then before you know it, by the end of the month, boom, you have all this content. So first thing is knowing the client's journey. When I click on somebody, you're going to automatically see their phone number, their email. It has their verification process that they've done. You can see it has the green check. That means it is a correct cell phone number, a correct email, nothing's bouncing. Otherwise, you would see different things that they have. You'll see a little red mark right there. So on this FAR column, I can see who it's assigned to, what they're looking for, you know, any hashtags. If I wanted to add a hashtag to them, I could just go in here and start, you know, typing in anything that I may have. And now they're going to be attached to a hashtag I've already made, or you can create a new one. This is saying they're a buyer, but if they're just an agent, you could go ahead and put them there as well. In the middle, if you scroll all the way down, it's every single thing that has been done with this person, every property they've looked at, the emails, the text, all of that through their journey. So you can always go through, see notes, maybe tasks, all of that. And I can see they're a new lead. And over here, I can see they're on an active campaign. So right here, I see there are future touch points. So if I click this, it's going to basically tell me the date, and it's going to tell me call and leave a voicemail. Well, maybe I don't want to. So I can just X out, delete anything you don't want future touch points to go out. This is a default campaign that you can completely clone and edit as you want. But it's going to tell you that, you know, okay, an email is going to be going out. A text is going to be going out. It's going to be telling you to call and leave a voicemail. Call, don't leave a voicemail. So it's basically helping you work a lead, cultivate them, trying to convert them. When somebody is on the new lead campaign, it is the most aggressive campaign. It is the one that is constantly texting and emailing this lead, trying to get them to respond back. It's asking questions, probing, you know, all of that. It's trying to get them to engage with you. Once they engage, they move over to an active lead. Those emails, texts are not going to be happening nearly as frequently. The system is really going to be telling you things that you can be doing to engage and, you know, have more activity with them. Of course, you can change them at any point. The system will automatically put them through as depending on their behavior, their responses, and their activity, but you can change them at any point. So once they go to active, and then of course, as you're showing, like you've met them in person and now they're a client, the system again may tell you to like maybe check up in a month if they haven't been going on and searching. It may say, hey, maybe you want to modify their property alert or something like that. So it'll give you more things to do versus, you know, sending any of those automatic stuff that, you know, the systems have. So you can change that at any point. You can see all of that. And then this is where all the fun stuff is. You can call. What'll happen is if you call, you can call from your computer. If you have the app, make sure you've downloaded that app from the dashboard. You can call. What it's going to do is call your smart number and then call the client. So everything is logged in as the call. Of course, you can call them from your cell phone number and just add a note that you called. You can you can send a text, you can send an email. The voicemail drop is a paid service. That's kind of like slide dial where the voicemail just drops into their phone and they didn't even hear it ring. What happened? Core video, you get 10 videos for free or you can pay it. Core present, that'll be down the line. That's that CMA that we can do. That's awesome, but that's more advanced. So we'll cover that after we get through all the basics. Then you have more actions. So you can share, contact, add a task. If you talk to somebody and they're, you know, maybe they're out of town, but they're thinking of moving in a year or something, maybe just put a task to shoot them an email in 4 months or so, just to kind of check in. So you can do all sorts of stuff. If you find out there's a husband and wife or people have different emails, I know me, I have so many emails and I sign up and now I'm getting duplicate emails all the time. And if they say, hey, apparently I signed up twice and I'm getting all these emails, you know, is there a way to delete one or can we merge them? You can merge 2 contacts. If they don't click the unsubscribe button, you can always, but they ask you to unsubscribe them. You can archive it. If it is your lead, you can delete them. Otherwise, archive them. What'll happen is that will actually just kind of put them in archive mode. But if they come back to the website, say they've been gone for 6 months, you can't get them to respond to anything, archive them so you don't see them front and center. If they automatically start coming back to the website, you will get an email from KV Core. Hey, this archived lead started, you know, activity again. We're going to go ahead and put them back active in whatever status again. So that way you don't have to worry about it, but it's not front and center. It's archived, you know, kind of out of, you know, that front and center for you. And if it is yours leads, you can delete it. If it comes from remax.com or the company, you can't, but if it comes from your website or anything like that, you can certainly delete anything.
Are we, is that not appearing on our computer because we don't have a lead? Because I don't have that.
You'd have to be inside. I'm inside of a person.
Okay, okay, I get it.
So if you
Okay,
click on somebody, this is what you'll see.
okay, great.
And then if you have Spokio or people, you can actually, you know, go over there and it'll even find even more validation, you know, all this stuff. I mean, it sometimes if I put in my other email address, it even says like what I do for a living. It was super freaky. So, but it's awesome for you guys. And then so I can undo more actions, come down here, add search alerts, active campaigns, market campaigns. I know we went over this last week. The core present is awesome. That's the whole CMA. We're going to go over that. I'm not sure when that is. We have to set up that time because we do want to make sure you set up your profile and decide, you know, they have several templates and all these different slides you can add into there. So we want to set that up and then we'll have kind of a CMA a day. We'll have you go through these people. So that's just basically that smart campaign client's journey. And this is what I use, the filters, to give myself something to do when I'm drinking my coffee in the morning. Rome wasn't built in a day. We just need to do a search. What do I want to do? Maybe you imported a lot of people. Maybe people came in from Bouge. So I want to add my addresses so I can set up that automatic birthday text that comes in. I'm going to come over here to our filters. That's probably going to be my sphere because that's going to be how those were labeled when they came in. I'm going to come over here to contact details. And whether you're searching by hashtags, anything like that, I may say has no birthday. I'm going to save this search. And if we don't have anything in her, so I can save it. And here I can put no birthdays. Oops, if I can, let's see. So no birthdays. If it's important, I may want to pin it to the very top. If it's not that important, I have a lot of searches just because I'm curious about something. It's not important. I can easily have it where it's not pinned and it's going to show up right here in my searches. So I just, all right there, all the searches. If it's important, I pin it to the top. Now, maybe once you have something on there, you get done with that, you can easily come over here. Okay, I have all of my birthdays done. Nobody's in my list. I cleared it out. Just I go through 10 or 15 people a day. Maybe you just go to Facebook, see if you're friends with these people, get their birthdays. I used to have my kids do this for summer break, spring break. That was their job. Go through every single person. You're going to go to their details, add in the birthday, and then they will get removed from the no birthday because now they have a birthday. So it's just small little checklists that you can be doing to help organize your database. Here you can see I have needs property alerts. These are people that maybe were imported. Maybe they're people that were actively searching in Bouge, or I know them, maybe I brought them in from our MLS, but I need to set up the same property search that I have set up for them over there. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to see what they're searching for over here, or if like I use double monitor. So maybe you're trying to get people that you have in your MLS and you have some set up on searches. Maybe one by one, you're going to add them over into here. And now I can come over search alert. There is no search alert. I'm going to come over here to add. And I can see I'm setting it up. Or if they do have one and they're like, Heather, I didn't put a price limit and I love these $1 million homes, but I can't afford that. Can you adjust that for me? You can just go right into their name, go right into their search alert, and you'll be able to edit it for them. So here I'm going to do a search. It is pulling, it's a live feed straight from your MLS. You're going to put in the information, the areas. How often do I want this to get emailed to them? If they're like, I've already got my house under contract, I need to find a house now, you're probably going to do ASAP. If they're out of town, they're kind of looky-loos, 12, 18 months, maybe you want it to be monthly. And then you can always put a task. Hey, remind me, send an email to them in 6 months and check to see if they want it to be more frequent or anything like that. So you can decide how often. if it's somebody that is ASAP, put your email in that carbon copy so that you also receive a copy of these. So that you can say, hey, did you see that listing that met all of your criteria? Do you want to go see it today? So that way you can be actively involved with this. And then here's just, you know, the property types. Maybe it's single family, maybe their price range wasn't $1 million, maybe it's 750. They need 4 bedrooms. How many baths do they need? So go through and you can set up as much or as little information as possible. It's definitely not going to be as detailed as what's in your MLS. But right now that may be okay because inventory is low. So, I mean, I cannot even tell you how many times I have to have this, this, and this. And then they buy something completely different. And it's like, really? So by having it more broad, just remember, the more information you put in here, the less results are going to come through. And when you have low inventory, you know, you definitely want more results. And sometimes our needs versus wants, if we're definitely looking to buy right now, may be more important. So you can go in and add kind of keywords. So maybe, you know, fence or pool, whatever, golf or something like that, and see if anything pulls up. Then you can set alerts, or you can save it and send it. So that way you have all of that. Does that make sense?
But why would you use this then if it's not as detailed as MLS? I don't understand that.
Now, what was that again?
Why would you use this if it's not as detailed as the MLS? Do you get more feedback from here than you do from when we put it in the MLS?
Well, for here, I like it because it's going to send them, it keeps everything straight inside of my system. If they are super detailed on exactly what they want, you may have to use the MLS.
Okay,
But a lot of times, I mean, almost a ton of information is there when you're setting up those search alerts. So it is nice right now with inventory being so low, when people have their needs versus wants. So it is kind of nice. You see every time somebody opens an email, they can respond to you directly in here. That's not always the case inside of a different system. And now it's like, okay, I got to check this. I got to check this. And it just allows you to see everything straight inside of one dashboard. A lot of times what I do is, because there is no search alert in here, is the people that maybe that came from Bouge or new people that come in, because you can do all of this straight from your mobile app. So it is nice to be able to see everything happening right there. It'll show similar properties. These emails will also show any blogs that you may be doing on your website. For me, I just, you know, it's like all roads lead to your website. And that's the best way to, you know, be able to keep everyone on task on what's going on with this person instead of having to check all these other systems.
okay, and one more time, the mobile app you said we get by just going to the app store?
Yes, right here on your dashboard, download mobile app
Mm-hmm.
and just text you the link, whether you have an Android or Apple. So
Okay.
text you that one. And then you also have the mobile house, the open house app, which is awesome. So if you're doing an open house, make sure to get that over to a Chromebook, a tablet, whatever it may be.
And one more
If-
time, where is that again?
When you're on your dashboard, the gray button right here,
Okay, great.
download your mobile app.
Thank you.
And then make sure in all of your newsletters, we have the MAXTech tab. We have all of the past recordings, watch a live recording, register for other KV core training. They do about 4 classes a day. I register for the ones I really want, and then I get the replay link because I never watch anything live. We have the agent quick start guide. That is part of your homework for this month. We do, you know, and you'll be doing it in person together. Those dates are in our classes here. Free website enhancement. That's going to take you to a link, ask you a couple questions. Make sure to check out what your website looks like right now. When you're in your dashboard, you'll be able to see it is basically your name.remax.com, same REMAX URL you've always had. Check out your website. Let us know what changes you want. We can change out the cities and all that stuff. And then this is more advanced, so that'll be in a couple classes. If you want to watch any REMAX University, they're doing like at least 1 to 2 classes a week on MAXTech. This link will take you straight there. And then this is, we have a link for logging into KV Core and the support email if you have any questions. We have all of our upcoming classes. This video you should maybe hopefully have watched last week. This is last week's Zoom, and I'll be adding today's right in here. I have a ton of videos. Feel free, you know, if I try to keep them like 5 minutes or less, maybe 10 minutes if it's a big topic. But I have a ton of different, I get a lot of the same questions all the time. I see a lot of the same questions inside the group. So I'll just record me and make a quick video on how I did it. So a lot of this may be more kind of advanced, but it's just different things. And of course, I have my favorite playlist for KV Core. This is more advanced. These are more basics, just quick hits that they have, and then importing videos and stuff like that. So just make sure if there's a resource that you would like to be on here that's not, let me know and we'll get it added. I'm constantly updating this with anything I feel could benefit you guys. So that was a lot of fun stuff. What questions?
I think we had one. I think they figured out the answer, but it might be good for the
Well,
group.
I
to
guess
hear, so.
I guess it's more of a statement now. If you are transferring the drip or whatever onto your REMAX page here, then are they getting double emails when there's a listing that comes available? So I guess I agree with Lori in the sense that why would we take it out of the MLS and put it on this? Because then we have to take it out of our MLS, correct?
You would not want to have them both going on. But if there's somebody that has kind of a generic search, maybe they're a year out, maybe you want to add them into the system so they can get on a drip campaign as well. And I would do like an active lead. So they're getting other emails as well. That's completely up to you and their needs and all of that stuff as well. But yeah, if you have it in your MLS, I wouldn't double add them into here. So it would almost be if they have a broad search, they're looking like 12, 18 months or whatnot, maybe you want to add them into here because it's more broad. And that way, because you can do more things in here than you can in your MLS, and you're able to see everything that they're doing in the MLS. But that's completely up to you. And maybe it may be newer people that you meet. Maybe you want to set them up in here. Or any of your old people that came over from Bouge or something like that. I mean, that's completely up to you, but definitely to know how you can modify and change any of the searches that are going out and add them if they're not on one.
Does anybody else have any questions? No? Okay, I think you kind of blew a lot of our minds too, so we'll just kind of piecemeal it, but just so that the group, there's someone in chat, let me see what they have to say. Thank you, that's awesome, okay. If they want to reach you, Heather, what's the best way to reach you?
When you come over here, go to your agent hub. You can always email me. I think my contact is like in the newsletters, but if you want to Zoom, you click right there and it syncs with my calendar and just Zoom with me.
Perfect. That's what I wanted. So
One more question. I just tried to do that copy iOS link or text, and it's not texting me. Why?
So what I want you to do is I want you to go into your Max Center.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this was like last week. Biggest
No,
reason if you're not getting it,
Yeah.
go into your Max Center profile. And we want to make sure your cell phone number is on it's pulling from your Max Center profile. So if I come
Yeah.
over
I did that. I did that last week.
and it has mobile cell.
Yeah, and it just
So
didn't text
then
me.
what I would do is I would just, when I'm on my dashboard, I
Mhm.
just come over here, copy the link to the clipboard and email it to yourself.
Oh, okay.
That's how people get it onto their tablets. If they
Okay.
have like but you can just copy it and that way it gets text. You don't want to do it from the App Store because it's going to be KV Core, not MAXTech powered by KV Core, and it's going to be a little glitchy, but you can always just copy it right there.
Yeah, no, I remember you saying don't go to the App Store.
Yeah, and some people it works fine that there's a KV Core app, but this is the one for MAXTech powered by KV Core. So it may be a little glitchy because KV Core and MAXTech are a little different and like profiles and stuff like that on how they do things.
Okay.
got another question over here, Heather.
Yeah.
If
if you get your own number and you have a team and there's more than one of you, how do you really your team?
I tried.
So-
I tried to set it up, but it didn't
Me
work
too.
for me. So we
That's why I'm
both did.
asking.
Yeah, it didn't work.
So we're struggling with the how to do lead routing within the team, how to set that up.
Do they have team sites?
I would do a Zoom meeting with me so that we can set that up. I'm not in a broker account, and basically a team leader has totally, like, they have full control over how that team routing would go. So I would do a Zoom with me so that we can make sure it sets up exactly how you want. Some, everybody's different on how they run their team, but I would do that so because you can set up, prices by cities, by buyer, seller. The sky's the limit on how you want to do that. This is just an agent account, so it's a little different on how that is. But when you go to new role,
Kevin,
you
do
would
have-
just add a role and do it that way.
It grayed us out. All three of us every one of us are on a team here, and we all tried it. And it grays you out when you try and do it. It doesn't let you go to the next step.
Is there,
So you went to lead routing and you say,
is there a different,
Yeah.
Phone number?
how do they know who's the team leader that's assigned to?
It's
Does
not
that have to be
set.
theirs?
No, it didn't. It didn't.
So you
yeah, the
guys,
team leader is the only one that's going to have access to the team lead routing.
That's how we open up MAXTech. I'm hoping that we have one.
Well, what happens is you might be the team leader, it might be under your account.
No, I am the team leader, but we all tried to do it and none of us could do it. So we'll have to Zoom you
Yeah, just Zoom her with.
because it didn't work. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
the team leader, and you'll know, like, the team leader that's registered that way in REMAX. So the team leader's the one that would actually, even when you log in and you're a team, you're going to click here. See, I only see this one agent's name. If you're a team leader, you'll see all of your team sites and everything.
I know, but that's not the issue we're having. It shows who the team leader is. It's not allowing, it says team lead as each individual person, but none of these three, we're all teams of two, the three of all of us, but this is my team. And it's not allowing them to add another person or to add another phone number to share this with them. To toggle between, or round robin between just two agents.
I would say Zoom with their,
Yeah, we'll
the
do
way
it.
you make sure you're logging in the right way. You're trying to set up the routing.
Yeah, lead routing it's not hard, but we want to make sure that it would be set up correctly. So I would definitely recommend any team leaders, like, let's meet and make sure that it's set up correctly for you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Should we do it together? All of us together with you, or do you want it all separate?
Yeah, depending on how your team is run, if you're completely transparent, let's all do it together and you can brainstorm on.
Really, REMAX, fine, that's fine.
Yeah, so just Zoom, and then all of you, one of you, whoever wants to be a part of that, that's fine.
You want to be a part of that?
Was there another question?
Yes, thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Paul.
Can you direct us to where we would purchase the smart numbers? Again, we're trying to.
Yep, so if you come over, you can go into the marketplace and there's all sorts of stuff you can do. I personally come over here to call and text capture. And right here's where it has your smart number and order now.
Call and text capture
Under lead engine,
under lead engine.
if you hover over lead engine and then go to call and text capture, click on that, and that gets you into all the text that you have set up.
Okay.
And then you're
that
gonna
we-
have an order now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, great.
Perfect. Well, I will get this up into your hub. So you'll have access to any of the recordings. And, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me.
All right, sounds great. Thank you, Heather. Have a fantastic day. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.